Alright, where is it at? Here? There? Oh, there you at. Vision basically gives them elemental powers of one certain element, and your character doesn't have one. But reveals all the elements.
Paimon heard that he's the present-day master of Make-Your Shisui art. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around. Let's go talk to them.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine.
Sensei. The one who have seen before.
Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end, didn't he?
Maybe, but I'm still worried about him. Things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him.
This is the sensei is the person we have to go to.
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place...
Hey there! Did something happen?
He lost his vision. That's why.
Who are you? Don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of here immediately!
Why?
Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
Okay, you wanna do that.
You got it so wrong. We just came here to...
We're here to become disciples.
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Make-Your Shisui art. It's the whole reason we came all this way. But then we got here and overheard you talking about how he got possessed or something.
Oh, God. Oh, another explanation for why people act weird.
It doesn't look like you're from around here.
No,
Please,
I'm not.
accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently that we're on high alert. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid.
We can wait until
Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow disciple Nanako and I will explain Sensei's situation to you in a little more detail. Sensei's name is Domon, a name I'm sure you've already heard. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other prominent sword masters, never losing a single fight. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. His fervor truly inspired us, and we trained hard. But then...
What then?
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He hasn't been the same since. He says the strangest things over and over, and he refuses to let us train. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's being possessed by an evil spirit. So, we've asked the shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine to perform an exorcism. But if I'm honest, I still have my doubts over whether he'll completely recover.
The Grand Narukami Shrine? What's that?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty Shogun herself. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine would have clear power and authority to perform an exorcism. So don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going to be just fine. The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both more than welcome to come and watch if you're interested.
Great.
Losing your vision can cause possession? Guess we should come back this evening and see for ourselves.
No, it causes you to restart your mind and just go blank, TFT, and all of. How long do I have to wait this out? Not long.
A few minutes later.
Alright, now I can get the exorcism
So
going.
you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. Just now, when Nanako was attending to him, she heard him whispering a few names to himself. When she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked panic-stricken and pushed her away. It looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantically around him with bloodshot eyes. All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew, others we didn't recognize. But they all seemed to be the names of sword masters he had defeated in the past. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. But Sensei defeated him in a duel many years ago. And he has been a wanderer ever since. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. The ritual has now begun. All we can do is pay. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water.
Dang. Exorcism over a loss of vision. Ezima? Or is that Anzai? Maybe he knows.
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? We won't let them get away with it.
All the suspicious secrets and traces.
Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up?
Yes. Yeah, up here.
Is this definitely the right place?
I don't know, what is the right
Let's
place?
look a little
Thank you. Alright, where is it at?
further
Here?
up. Suspicious person sighted. That's gotta be him.
Yeah.
Ow. How did you catch up with me so quickly?
I run around like Sonic.
Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? You move even quicker than he does.
Yeah.
Unless... I guess it's been a few years. Maybe his skills have improved.
Excuse me? And what are you doing sneaking around these parts?
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back in the
Hey,
day.
gotta go fast.
Long before you ever showed up.
Yeah,
I
but
don't care to
I
talk about that
kinda
time
outran
anymore.
you.
But if you must know, I am Domon's senior.
His senior?
Anzai. Yes, that's me.
Why do you run?
Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained under the same sword master, studying Meikyo Shisui art together. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable older disciple. Practitioners of Meikyo Shisui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. So the majority of disciples are indifferent to rank and reward, but Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming smile on his face, how to become the best in the world. Sensei scolded him, told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of the best sword master, barely days into his training, showed that he had a fickle mind, that this would impede him from ever mastering the blade. I thought so too at the time, but Domon began making swift progress in his training, and even started catching up with me. Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his mind from all agitation. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought nothing less than perfection in the art of the sword, and nothing could deter him from this goal.
Sure sounds like he meant business.
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master of Meikyo Shisui art. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained the longest. Everyone had high expectations for me. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but my pride and my status too. I fled the dojo that day and never looked back. Later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately, that match used up every last ounce of energy in his body. After that, I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down, though, I still respected his mastery of the blade. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them as false. How could he, of all people, have lost his mind? His mind was the sharpest of them all. He had practiced Meikyo Shisui art to perfection.
He was a visionary.
I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete astonishment, I heard him call my name. I thought mine was a name he had long since forgotten. So you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. Okay, you've heard my story.
Seems like we got it wrong this time. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us.
Maybe we should. Alright, speaking of, gotta go fast.
What? You're saying he isn't possessed? Does
Oh,
that mean
really?
that he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible?
Nanako, please. Try not to get agitated.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit having possessed Domon. But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. Thus, I dare not rule out possession with complete certainty. And all is certainly not lost. For I received word not long ago that Lady Yai has taken an interest in your sensei.
Lady Yai? Is that...
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful.
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your...
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we prepare a greeting gift for...
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine.
Wait, where's the shrine?
Who'd
Is it
have
on
thought
top
Lady
of that
Yai
frickin'
herself
mountain?
would have taken notice of our sensei's case?
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve Lady Yai's attention?
No, that's not what I meant at all. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head shrine maiden. She has direct and close contact with the almighty Shogun herself. Anyway, you should join us too, tomorrow, given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our
I would
sensei.
gladly join you.
After all, everyone seems pretty. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two about the Raiden children from her.
That's what we have to do. Go to the Grand and see... Where is it? Oh. It is on top of that frickin' mountain! Grand Narukami Shrine. Interesting. I finally climbed up the side of the mountain and made my way up here. Wait, who do I have to talk to? You can't get that one yet for a long time, not until you do the Raiden Shogun's second story quest. Okay. Purple Sakura Cherry Tree on top of really tall mountain. Is this a really long
You
cutscene?
think that's Lady Yai? Oh, no wonder Junyo is so excited. She has a really striking presence.
You haven't
Also,
even done Klee's
is it
story
just
yet, so good luck with that.
Or did she look right at us just now?
Yes.
It was probably nothing. It's not like she's ever seen us before.
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please, let me go, I beg you.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past.
Lady Yai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his way, he would always face it with a confident smile.
Yeah, but this is what happens when you take a vision
I'm
away.
sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil spirit.
But then does that mean...
Yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally descended into madness. As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament, it does nothing to prevent his descent into the depths. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of one's vision is to be stripped of one's ambition.
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change? How does that explain his descent into madness?
He does have a point. Like, the other two before we... Like, the madness part, I can see where Junya is coming from. Like, the other two people we talked to who lost their vision didn't go into madness, so what caused this madness in this person?
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to achieve it. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both? Can one truly remain unagitated, of still mind in moments such as these?
Lady, I'm not...
The path of the Sword Master is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to pursue the position of greatest Sword Master in the world. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters, to focus on the way ahead. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he battled his growing anxiety, he slowly descended into the state you see him in now. Much like a certain fatally flawed friend of mine.
That would be the Raiden Shogun, isn't it?
Poor Sensei. To think he's been suffering so greatly.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault, Father. Sensei. Ansai.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Ansai? Did he follow us the whole way here?
How? How the hell could he climb up that mountain behind us the whole entire time? We came a different way. There's no way he could follow us.
Ansai. Why are there two of you? You're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would come. I never should have.
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly.
There were stairs.
I didn't come here to
I
settle
didn't take the
score.
stairs. I just went straight up a steep-faced mountain.
It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I couldn't face the humiliation. That's why I ran. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, we entrusted them to you, in the hopes that they might carry you further. Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, since you've been stripped of your ambitions too. But that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the highest peak. You taught them that, didn't you?
But what if one day, the same thing happens to them? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. But what if it was all a huge mistake right from the start?
It's almost like Domon is like a weird Ash figure that just doubted himself of becoming the best. This is like what happens when Ash is like stripped down of his ambitions to become the very best.
If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now than go any further down this path.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told myself I would follow in your footsteps for the rest of my days. I can't know whether I will suffer in my future as you do now. I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone with my head held high and announce that I, like my sensei Domon before me, am a master of Meikyo Shisui art.
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually, all of us think that way.
They all made the choice to do it. So he's like, I don't want anyone else to feel the same way I do. Well, they're kind of on their way to doing it, so...
Goodness. Well,
You see? You can place the ambition you once had in their hands. Being stripped of your
I did the
ambition
same
is
thing,
something
too,
that's
when I
never
first played
happened to me. So I can't claim to understand it. But I do know what it feels like to have your ambitions crushed. That's what happened on the day that you so effortlessly defeated me. So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, it is time for you to release yours into their custody.
Okay.
You are not in the same position that I was. When I left, I had nothing to my name.
I understand. I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and for the state of Meikyo Shisui art. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and suffering inside of me will not abate, so I cannot hope to still my mind and be free of agitation. But as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you everything I have learned in my life so far.
So it's like, I can't do it myself, but I'm hoping you yourself could do the same thing that you would want.
This is my promise. And I humbly ask Anzai, my senior, to...
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, just to make sure you hadn't lost your mind again. But I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore, so I will simply stop by once in a while to make sure you aren't cutting any corners with... Well, don't just stand there staring at...
Okay. Okay. The Meikyo Shisui disciple, thank
So
you.
even though his ambition was taken away, his disciples can take it over on his behalf. Guess that sort of solves this one, huh?
Hope for...
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai has some words for you.
So, my intuition was correct.
What intuition?
The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment.
It's premature, but it's the right moment? What?
I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
Right.
Ooh, Lady Yacht, she seems super mysterious. We can come back to it another time. For now, we should go report back to Miss Kamisata.
Good, get right over there. Fall down the mountain and get over there. Oop. No. Alright, there we go.
Ayaka! Guess who fulfilled all your wishes? Ayaka! Huh?
She's not here, is she? Or she is here, but she's like not saying anything? What is it? Oh, she is here. She almost looks like Miss Yun.
Traveler, Paimon. It is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face. I have heard all about how you helped our three friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
The damage is done by losing a vision can't completely be undone.
Yeah. Short of getting them their visions back, seems like there's no way to really help them.
Maybe I should tell the Raiden Shogun to stop the whole vision degree and give everybody back their vision.
Ayaka, how come this time you get to come out and meet us in person?
Because now that you have done the three things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will observe, I dispense with the screen for Toma also.
Easy. Well, I don't expect it to be easy. It ain't ever easy dealing with a goddamn authoritarian dictator.
Wait a second. But isn't Toma your,
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining.
You're definitely not gonna fight the Shogun, right?
Friend,
That's kind of the
he ever
thing.
became my attendant.
So, when I was at work, I actually heard a lot of the Raiden Shogun music theme. So I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna be fighting that thing. Fighting her, am I?
Oh, okay then. Ayaka,
Friend request accepted.
Different out in the open compared to how you are behind the screen.
Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. What are your feelings on what you have seen? Perhaps in the eyes of a thunder's roar, lightning's flash, the wind's assault, and the rain's descent. All these things take place with no regard for the feelings of the common people. But I believe that surely you understand what they must. It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this.
I'll help you fight the
In
Vision
which
Hunt
case,
degree.
Perhaps you will? Really?
Yes, but you must keep the promise you made me.
Naturally.
Which means the Shogun is actually going to be wishing Banner next Monday, and I saved like 100 wishes to try to get to her.
Alright.
Oh, God.
Lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you she wouldn't reject them. Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature.
Given that we've done the same thing, Kamisato and I just want to talk to you once again to the Komori Tea
Well,
House.
here we are again.
Please continue
Yes,
without
we are.
me.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it your favorite meeting spot?
She has a vision on the back, so somehow the Raiden Shogun didn't get to her.
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land. And even to allow or deny access. Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs. Oftentimes,
Oh, Paimon gets it!
once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here. Only members of the Yashiro Commission.
Makes
Okay.
sense. Perfect place for a secret base.
Yes.
In any case, we can talk freely here.
What kind of god is the Raiden Shogun?
The almighty Shogun. I've
Have
seen
you
her
actually
on
been
but
to the
only a
city
few
yet?
occasions.
Yeah, I
Most
have.
of them formal ceremonies.
Oh wait, the Inazuma City, yes. Seen her.
She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority. But as I recall, there was something else about her that struck me even more deeply. It was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose. Focused exclusively on her single goal of implementing eternity.
There's no one fighting the Vision Hunt decree.
The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the Vision Hunt decree is something that has no implications whatsoever. After all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the Vision Hunt decree is one of indifference.
So, because, like, a lot of people... Like, I see what you mean. Nobody else does because it only affects a certain few. So, therefore, there's never been any sort of... And it became daytime. There's never been any sort of public backlash from, like, a political standpoint. But the fact that it affected, like, very few people, it does affect... Like, it does affect a majority through a minority sense.
How can they be like that?
Nevertheless, in addition...
Resistance?
Because they think about
You mean
themselves,
like an army
not about
fighting
others.
against?
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a resistance group. To say a little more about Sangonomiya. Historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the shogunate of Narukami Island, but I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance.
Have you raised a formal objection to the Vision Hunt
Of
decree?
course. We have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each
Civil
time
War.
a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenshukaku, it is promptly vetoed by both the Tenryou Commission and the Kanjo Commission, and subsequently scrapped.
They try to raise it, but it keeps getting struck
They
down.
invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the Shogun's decisions. They have no interest in discussing anything.
So the Kanshiro Commission and the Tenryou, I can't remember. I gotta deal with those guys in order to deal with the...
It almost makes one wonder
Thing.
whether they had a hand in the Shogun's sudden decision to issue the Vision Hunt decree.
I have no further questions.
Oh, Paimon has a question though.
What could you possibly ask, Paimon?
What would you like to know?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt decree?
To be honest, we do not.
Because you're relying on someone like me to show up just to solve everyone else's problems yet again?
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt decree is tantamount to challenging a deity. Coming to terms with that is already a difficult step to take.
Challenge God. You know what? It has happened before in Japanese games. Like, in Dragon Quest VII, you could actually fight God. and win. It is not impossible. Say no to religion.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the harm that is being caused by this
I
decree.
feel like... oh, man. I can't remember which one it was, but it was like an episode from the Team 4-Star Dragon Ball Z, like the parody of Dragon Ball Z, where... I can't remember... It's like Vegeta is like, what is a god to a non-believer? Oh, man.
For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit visions for them as a contingency measure.
Counterfeit vision.
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there who can make fake visions?
Sure, why not?
Don't underestimate the talents of the
Must have
craftspeople
been
in
where
Hanamizaka.
Venti went.
To the naked eye, the problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who was providing us with counterfeit visions, has recently been arrested by the Tenryou Commission.
Darn!
Yes. We knew it was not a
He has
long-term
saved
solution,
many
and that it was
others.
only a matter of time. Exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities
So
as
you're
part of
offloading
the
the job to
Yashiro
me.
Commission, by no means do we intend to place the burden of such a task on your shoulders alone.
You are placing the burden of that task on my shoulders alone.
When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Nagonohara family. There, you will find someone who can help you.
Got it. Omamori, Justice, and whatever the hell else I didn't remember. Something tells me I am the Commission's commission? I need to do something about you. I gotta go to the commission. If you may, I trust you're a traveler. Indeed I am. If you please and goodbye. I am Madarame Hyakube. Damn it, I'm horrible with pronunciation of names, even with Japanese ones. I hear a name, I immediately forget. Retainer of the Kamisato clan, I have heard great deeds, and then Mrs. Kamisato thinks extremely highly of you. No doubt you're the great of honor and worthy of our trust. I have long since wished for the pleasure of making your acquaintance. Unfortunately, I've been able to... Too kind, too kind. On the contrary, as you are too modest, even the Yashiro Commissioner Kamisato Ayato has mentioned you before. Believes you are worthy of our trust. City quest! I'll get to the points. Since the Yashiro Commission oversees worship at the shrine, we often have the occasion to hear about people's understood visions. Miss Kamisato, being as kind and thoughtful, convinced the Yashiro Commissioner to allocate resources. Blah, 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 blah. Can't think. Can't talk. Can't talk and think. Can't think about talking or can't talk about thinking. Wait, didn't I just do that? The remuneration is more than ample, but the problem is there are too many commissions, not enough people. You want me to do it. And I've been able to start, then no problem. I'm gonna start right now. Oh god, I actually did get to start right now. What is this? Konda cuisine. Ooh, I want. Also, what exactly are these things? Oh, it's like objects for your serenity thing. Nakuweed seed, Inazuma, Kamisato crest. Rhine emblem. Electroculus resonance stone. My god. I need that. I need it badly. I need it so badly. Treasure compass. I need the treasure compass as well. I haven't even gotten it from the Mondstadt one. Alright. Ooh. Thank you. Now. Oh crap, I gotta get a reputation. I gotta get more freaking chests open. You're out of the time to desire, most grateful deeds, blah blah blah. Goes well, and not only be well compensated, but your reputation in Zoom will be enhanced. Of course, even one such as yourself cannot become a legend overnight. Many things you start to level up. Means your reputation builds up. The commission to access commissions. I'll leave you to think it over. I need to do things in Inazuma, not Imanazumana.